Hello, you guys. This your girl Candace. It's later in the day. I posted my prayer video earlier this morning, and now I said that I was going to go ahead and do part 3 of my new life journey, things that are happening in my life at this current moment. If you have not seen part 1 and part 2, I would suggest that you go back and look at those. In part 2, I believe I said that I was gonna do like five series, but as I went back and I looked at part 1 and part 2, I basically said it's not necessary. Because in part 1 and part 2, I had said I am not on here to drag my husband. I'm not on here to bash him. I don't hate my husband. I still love my husband. It's just that I was talking about I don't know if both parts, part 1 and part 2, I was basically saying that I have deal breakers, and it was a deal breaker that happened. That's just what it was. It was a deal breaker. So tried to get past it. I'm just kind of recapping from part 1 and part 2. Tried to get past it, couldn't get past it. I prayed a whole lot. I cried a whole lot. I had gained so much weight. I'm still not at my goal, but I'm working towards my goal. But I had gained so much weight because I was stressing out. My mental was not there. And I was just pretty much kind of just putting on a facade that everything was fine when everything was not fine. I suggested counseling. That did not happen. And instead of things getting a little better, they didn't get better. They didn't get worse at one point, and then as time kind of progressed, to me, things got worse. So I made the conscious decision. I prayed, like I said, I pray all the time. I ask God for direction all the time to lead me in the path that He has for me. And if you watch my prayer videos in the morning with Brooke and I, that is in almost all of the prayers, all of my prayers, that I ask God to lead us in the path that you have already made out for us. So I'm constantly talking with God, praying, and going on like that. So in my second video, I said that this is my second marriage. My first marriage, I was with him for 13 years, got married the 14th year, got a divorce that very next year. With my current husband, we dated 1 year, got married the next year, had Brooke the year after that. So life was kind of, for us, it was really, really fast. I would never ever say that the amount of years that I was with my now current husband, that it was all bad, because it was not. We had great times. We had, oh my God, we had some fun times. We traveled, we did fun things. We did a lot of family things. But like I said, it was just things that happened in the marriage that, I couldn't get past, and so now we're here. So I also wanted to just recap and just continue to tell all of my single ladies, all my new divorced ladies, new divorced men, because they go through things too. They're not, women, we're not the only one that go through things and go through divorces and go through breakups and heartbreaks and stuff like that. We have men that go through things too. And the first thing I would say is pray and ask God for direction. Pray and ask God to continue to give you discernment. That's very important. And then do what makes you happy. You got to do what makes you happy. I understand compromising, but when you're never doing things that makes you happy, and you never have that person that is kind of cheerleading you on to usher you into doing what makes you happy and following some of your goals, check out the red flags in the beginning. I will say that. Make sure that you're not so blinded by red flags. Question yellow flags, because yellow flags turn into red flags if you don't address them in the beginning. Whenever you are going into a relationship and you have children from prior relationships, make sure that you have the conversations that need to be had. Make sure that you're treating everybody, every child, as though you would treat your very own. If there are things that's in your past that you know that you have not quite got over, don't go into another relationship taking that baggage into that relationship, because it's not fair to that new person that you're dating. Do the work on yourself, whether that is counseling, whether it's continuous prayer, whether it's just blocking everybody out, doing a self-examination of yourself, not just your physical, but mainly your mental. Start with yourself first. And then, because you attract what you are. At first I would think, oh, that's so cliche. No. It has a lot of truth to it. You attract what you are. So I would encourage, I would recommend, and I am coming from, at this point in my life, I am coming from a place of peace, a place of clarity, and a place of a person, a woman, a black woman that knows exactly what she wants and will not tolerate none of what she will not tolerate. Because there are things that I used to just kind of look over. I'm not doing that anymore, because I know what type of person I am. I know what I bring to the table. I know my qualities. I also know my mess ups too. I could be something else. Me? Can't, oh honey, yeah, I can be something else. I can. But what I would encourage you to do, anybody that's listening that, that takes anything I say, worthwhile. A lot of people, you gotta eat the meat and spit out the bone, right? Because sometimes it just doesn't apply to you. But what I will say is, don't walk around with malice or hate in your heart for anyone, for any of your ex-spouses or ex-boyfriend. That stuff, it's not worth it. That stuff eats at you. Let it go. Let it go. Even if you feel like you don't have to apologize, apologize. Because sometimes you can be wrong and you're not really, you're unknowingly hurt someone's feelings, or you unknowingly did something or said something, and you may have thought that it was just, oh, okay, well, that's just how I am. But no, it could have been insulting to somebody. It could have hurt someone's feelings. It could make in a conversation is sometimes all you need to have. That's another nugget. Communication. I know everybody says, oh, you got to communicate, but listen, none or lack of communication, that can kill the strongest relationships. Yeah. Because if you're not communicating with me, if I'm not communicating with you, I could be thinking something totally different, and you're just going on about your business. Or that person can be thinking something totally different because I think, oh, they know what I meant. No. That opens the door to trust issues. It opened the door to cheating, whether it's emotionally or physically, because it starts with emotions first. It starts with those conversations first. Yeah, it does. And you could say, oh, it was not gonna go that far. Listen, when you start communicating with people and you start opening your heart to people and you're vulnerable and you're just letting it all hang out, oh my goodness, you are setting up a trap for yourself. You're setting up, and especially if you're in a relationship. If you're in a relationship, anything. That's why communication, you gotta be, I cannot ponder on that. You gotta have open communication. And at certain times, you have to come to a point, if you're in a heated debate, not necessarily an argument, because I don't believe in arguments. If you're in a heated debate, you got to be the bigger person. Somebody got to be the bigger person and say, you know what? Hey, let's table this conversation right now. Because right now, you're upset. I'm upset. You're not listening to me fully, and I'm not listening to you fully. You got to be big enough adults to say, hey, let's talk about this tomorrow. I understand. Don't let the sun go down on your wrath. I get all of that. I get it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Let's be true to ourselves. Sometimes we have to come back tomorrow and revisit that thing. And going back the next day, cooler heads. Let cooler heads prevail. Now you've calmed down. I've calmed down. Like, hey, okay, now let me let you speak. And then I'm going to speak. And sometimes it just be a miscommunication. Or wires just could be crossed all up. But if you're yelling, he's yelling, she's yelling, can't nobody hear nobody. Allow yourself time to heal. I know me, I will say this because I know that a lot of people that do not know about my current divorce situation and separation and move out thing that's going on with my husband and I. And some may say, oh my goodness, I thought that they were doing so good. They would come to church. They would, come to functions together. They would do this and they would do that. Hear me and hear me well. Yes, you're absolutely right. We came to functions. We held functions at our home. But as I told my husband, maybe it's been about a year now. When things happened 2 years ago, a year after that happened, that first year, it was bad for me. Mentally, I was second guessing myself. A lot of people don't know this. I was second guessing life because I could not wrap my head around that something like this would happen to me. And I felt like I felt like I was doing all of the right things. I don't hang out in the street. I don't hang with all kind of people. I go to church. I I go to work. I take care of the house. I take care of the children. I took care of my husband. Was I perfect? Absolutely not. I wasn't perfect. But you could set your watch to me. The only place I'm gonna get out of pocket and tell you where I'm not gonna go, and some of you all gonna laugh, it's the Home Goods. Everybody know I love Home Goods. If I say, oh, I'm at a store, if I don't tell you what store, I done snuck the Home Goods. I done snuck the Home Goods. But that first year, like I said, was bad for me, mentally and physically. I stopped caring about myself. If people would kind of sit back and think about 2 years ago, the pattern of my dress, of how I carried myself, a lot of it changed. My weight definitely changed. I was depressed. So I would sit, eat. Just trying to eat away the questions that I had about myself, right? And I'm trying not to get emotional because I said I'm gonna do that. But as I think back, I just went through so many things. Mentally, I would yell at my baby girl when she was just being a kid. And things like that I regret because I just didn't know what to do. I felt like I was crying out for help and nobody heard me. Everybody thought because that's what she does, that's, don't get me wrong, I love cleaning my house, I love decorating, I love all that, but every weekend, that's all I did. That's all I did. I stayed in the house. If I didn't go to the store, those places that I just said. And I was telling my husband, I said, listen, I said, we need to go to counseling. I said, I am mentally checking out of this marriage. It fell on deaf ears. My husband watched my videos, and I told him, I said, I'm not gonna say anything that's gonna, because I'm just not like that. It is what it is. What has happened, that's what's happened. I can't take it back. We can't go back. It has already happened. So it fell on deaf ears, and I was just going with the flow. The one thing I did not stop doing is I did not stop praying. At times I felt like God was not listening to my prayer. He wasn't listening to me because things were still happening. Nothing changed. So as I started mentally checking out of this marriage, no one said anything. And I communicated this with my husband. It's like, hey, we need to go to counseling. We got to do something because I'm mentally checking out. Oh, you'll be okay. And I just went with that. I went with that, and I went on about my business. But so a year, I say a whole complete year, I felt like we were just living together. Business as usual. My husband would sleep on the couch for months. And I would sleep in the room, and it was business as usual. Just get up, take Brooke to school, go to work, come home. Brooke started cheer. That's pretty much what it was like. And 6 months into my decision, no, before my decision, I started gaining that mindset. I was like, God, at first my prayer went from, Lord, strengthen my marriage, strengthen my husband, strengthen me, strengthen our family so that we can be the family that you created us to be. And it went from that to my prayer was, Lord, whatever it is, whatever is next, strengthen me so that I can have the strength and the endurance to go through whatever you have for me next. Yep. And I prayed and I cried out to God. November, an incident happened. And that was my sign. November of 2023. Keep in mind, I've been mentally checked out of this marriage a whole year and a half before November. November, an incident happened. And at that very night, it was a Monday night, I'll never forget it. It's just, it felt like a ton of bricks was lifted off my shoulders. I'm not gonna say after that Monday night, I still kind of wrestled with myself like, is this what, God, is this what you need? Is this what you, because I know God loves marriage. So I was so confused. I was so like wrestling with, I'm like, okay, is this what? But when I tell you guys, as time progressed, I began to get a peace like none other. I got, it would, it's unexplainable. It's like I had a peace. It's like, girl, get yourself together. Pick yourself up. Dust yourself off. I didn't make you like this. You went through this because you had to go through this to get to where I'm taking you. So when I got clear, when I got crystal clear of that, this is why we're at where we're at. Make no mistakes about it. I don't regret anything. I said this in my last video. I have a trip planned to, because I'm still kind of traveling with Brooke, but we have a trip to Tallahassee next weekend. One more last competition is in Orlando at the end of this month. May, June, I don't really have anything. July, I want to take Brooke, because that'll be like in the summer when she's on summer break. I want to take her on like a weekend vacation. I'm going to ask my husband if he wants to, come with us, because I still want to do those things together with him and with her, because I'm just not a bitter person. I'm just not. You can ask anybody who I've ever dated. My ex, I'm not a bitter person. I'm not a drama queen. None of that. I don't have time for that. But I want to take her somewhere. And then August, honey, I have planned a trip, and I am going to Destin. I'm going there for about 5 days. And then after that, I plan on taking a trip to, I don't know if I'm going to go to Dallas, Texas, or San Francisco. But stay tuned, because I'm still in school. Y'all know I'm about to get my da-da-da. Yeah, I'm about to do it. I'm actually on my way now to an appointment that I have, and it's 2:41. I'm talking to y'all. This 24 minutes. I said these things weren't gonna last more than 15 minutes, but this is the finale. So this one can go a little over than the normal time, right? But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to encourage you guys to make sure you're listening to the voice of God before you do anything. Okay, you guys, let me finish up real quick, because I was getting ready to end it, and as soon as I said make sure y'all pray and ask God for direction, so that he can order your path and lead you and guide you where to go, my phone said it was too hot. I said, now ain't this something? I said, when it cool off, I'm gonna get back on here and tell him what I need to tell him so I can go ahead and clean and close this out. But you guys keep praying and keep pushing. Keep God first. Keep him in the forefront of any and everything that you do. And I promise you, sometimes it may get rough. I ain't gonna lie to you, and it may get tough. It may seem like you have some uncertain moments, but just keep pushing. Just keep going. My grandmother always told me, you know, as long as you do right, right will always come to you. Not necessarily as soon as you do right by that particular person or do right by a situation. But eventually, you'll be fine. Because everything connected to me is going to be blessed. I speak that and I declare that over my life, over my family's life, anybody that I'm connected to. I pray God shower you with blessings, unmerited favor. I really do. From the bottom of my heart, I do. So you guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the series. And you know, I also told my husband, I said, you never know what the future holds. I said, but you got to do the work. You got to do the work. I got to continue to do the work. Because I am one. If you need to go to therapy, honey, go to therapy. I understand I pray and ask God and follow God. But I also go to some people that he has already blessed to have that type of talent to give me the tools, the additional tools that I need to get far in this life. And there's nothing wrong with that. Go talk to somebody. Go let that stuff out. You can't have that stuff built up in you like that. That stuff will kill you. No. God ain't put us on this earth to suffer and to be sad and mad and no, I had to learn it, you guys. I had to learn that for myself. So whatever you do, if you don't take anything else from this video, that was almost 30 minutes long, I'm so sorry, y'all. Take this. Keep praying and keep pushing. God got you. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next video.